What up, everybody? My name's Kynan, and welcome to You Snooze You Shoes, where we tell you what not to sleep on. And the answer is always shoes. They're a bed for your feet, not your body. Today's hotly copped drop is filled with drip and maybe fire, though it seems like those two might cancel each other out. It is the Adidas Harden Volume 4 Pride Edition, which is rainbow. You're gonna love it. I actually bought these by accident, but I haven't regretted it at all. As long as you control for the fact that I do kind of regret getting into shoes so much. So, anyways, here we have a box. As you can see, we have the Harden logo in kind of a pretty cheap gold overlay. It says Adidas, pretty nice. And on the back, you can see the command that James Harden issues to all of his fans. Harden. It's often ambiguous if this command is sexual in nature, so we're gonna have to wait and see what the shoes look like to really be able to tell that. Wow. As you can see, I bought this from StockX, which is like a shoe resale website. They want me to buy Supreme merchandise, I guess. This is not interesting, so I'm not gonna comment on it. Moving on. As you can see, these shoes are incredibly gay, which I think settles the issue as to whether the command was about sex or not. I think it is. This shoe is clearly a command to clitorodes and chodes of whichever proportion. James is telling us to get in touch with our sexy sides.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Due to the unimpeachable fact that the spectrum of gender and sexuality is just as fast and loose as the spectrum of electromagnetism, James has used rainbow imagery all across the upper of the shoe and in the, what is this called? The bottom part that grips things, the outsole. The midsole is Adidas's proprietary Light Strike foam, which is like Ultra Boost, but it's like lighter, I guess. It's got these like kind of cheap, oh wait a minute, these are actually less cheap than they usually are. The little lacing mechanism here is usually like this kind of shitty plastic. This looks like it might be leather. Not sure. It's pretty cool. We got this knit midfoot cage thing right here to keep you tight. And the toe box has like just a plastic overlay. It's nothing fancy, honestly. Materials, iffy. Overall look of the shoe, badass. It's got these rainbow lacelets on the shoelaces. And that's pretty fucking cool. Now that that's out of the way, let's check it out on foot. Now, you might be asking, how does this shoe perform on court? Well, for most court performances, you're really going to want something a lot more formal. If you went up to the Queen of England wearing this shoe, she might think you were making light of her position. There's one notable exception. Mini courts have jesters, and for that particular role on the court, you are actually encouraged to wear like a large number of colors to look kind of silly, sometimes even foolish. And if you are going to a court that's more modern, for instance in Britain, which still has a queen for some reason, you should probably wear a more formal suit. Though in recent years, I have heard that you might also wear a green screen. I've heard the queen is up on those. In all seriousness though, most people are going to use this shoe on an actual court. And I do happen to have one, so I can show you. One moment. So I may have misspoken. I thought I had purchased a quart, but it turns out I actually purchased a half gallon. Regardless, I think it'll demonstrate the principle pretty well. The shoe's performance on the court is pretty good. It's balanced pretty well. You can give it a shake and it's not going to fall off. The traction seems to be holding up well. You can see the tread pattern up on the top has this like bowed, curved part that's, I'm led to believe, is really good for, you know, your toe work on court. And as we all know, like for any serious player, you need to be able to perform in the dry conditions and in wet conditions, like if it rained and you're trying to play outdoor. And on this court, that's an even more important consideration because there's going to be condensation and you don't want to lose traction in that situation. Oh, I also think the colorway of this shoe accents the milky opacity of the court, and I think it works pretty well, especially with this red cap. So final review, don't sleep on these. This part's kind of pointy and hard. It would hurt. And yeah, I like them. Anyway, that's it for my review. If you've got any questions or want to see other possible uses of this shoe, I think I covered most generally acceptable uses. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do on the next episode of You Snooze, You Shoes.